it's compact, and it's unmistakably premium. Hi everyone, my name's Gabi, and this is the 2026 Kia Seltos in the EX Premium trim level. Now, since its release here in Canada, the Kia Seltos has been one of our top selling vehicles, and the specific EX Premium trim level has been the trim level to get. I say it in every single video I shoot of it. Let me show you why. Today's video, we're doing a full in-depth walkthrough of everything you get in the Seltos, more specifically in this trim level. It's also a live streamed video, so if you're watching this in real time, there is a dedicated live chat box where you can go and ask us questions about the vehicle and let us know what you think. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. I have Adam on the camera here today, so he's going to take over the filming aspect. And again, if anything comes to mind, just let me know in the comments. I will dedicate a few minutes towards the end just to going over some questions. Let's do it, Adam. Now, price point wise, this vehicle is priced at $33,995 Canadian. It sits 2 trim levels down from the top model, which is called the X line here in Canada. And it gets you pretty much everything you'd expect and more while still keeping the naturally aspirated powertrain. That's a huge advantage for fuel efficiency and also just a smooth overall drive. On the front end, you get the classic Seltos look. So we got a chrome painted surround for our blacked out grille. And then your daytime running lights travel inwards to the grille to give the car a very modern and wide angle look. The full headlamp system is LED, so it's bold, it's bright, and of course all LEDs are going to last a whole lot longer than traditional bulbs. You also get LED fog lamps positioned just a little lower in the front bumper. Styling wise, we have this vehicle in our snow white pearl, so it's a classic metallic pearlescent paint, shines beautifully in the sunlight, and it shines still nicely in our fluorescent studio lighting. Lots of dark gloss black elements thanks to the grille, with some nice bright chrome accents too, just keeping everything light yet dark. There's a good amount of contrast. The lower portion for your skid plate, you'll notice we have more of that satin chrome finish and a small touch of black plastic. Now, performance-wise, this vehicle, we'll talk what's under the hood in just a few seconds, but you are going to get more enhancements to your safety functions. Sorry you guys, this is my first live stream in a while. I'm tripping over my words a little bit, but I promise we'll get into the flow. So when you move over to the EX Premium, you'll get an advanced version of the forward collision avoidance system. This works at intersections. If you're making a left turn and things are busy, it'll constantly be on the lookout for situations where there might be a risk of a collision. The same is true for pedestrians, cyclists, and then of course other motorized vehicles. So it's always on the lookout with the capability of warning you and applying brake pressure to avoid a collision situation if one were to happen. Now, let's pop the hood and talk powertrain. So like I said earlier, this is the highest trim level you can get while still retaining the classic 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine. Now, this powertrain will produce 147 horsepower with 132 pound-feet of torque. So no, it's not a sports car, but what it is efficient and dependable. So your average fuel efficiency, you can expect 8.2 liters per 100 kilometers, which is fantastic, keeping in mind that this is an SUV with all-wheel drive. You can see that fuel efficiency number do a whole lot better depending on if you are lighter on the gas pedal, and we do have select drive modes like Sport and Smart, which will change the way the vehicle is responding to throttle input as well as steering. So no matter how you like to drive, there is a drive mode way to configure it. Now for your transmission, we have an IVT transmission. That stands for Intelligent Variable Transmission. Essentially, it's very similar to a CVT in the sense that it's smooth in its operation and it has endless amounts of gear ratios to give you the best fuel efficiency and performance based off your input or current driving situation. How it's different is the fact that mechanically we have a chain belt instead, and it feels much more responsive than a regular CVT. If you've driven old Nissans with the CVT in the past, you know that thing is laggy and you know that it's noisy. It's not the case on this car. Its simulated gear shift ratios feel normal, responsive, and smooth the way a car should be. Now for more EX Premium specific styling, we'll move over to the wheels. So we have a 17-inch alloy that is exclusive to this trim level. Nice gloss black finish along the middle with some machined finished accents surrounding. Again, just like what we saw on the front end on our grille, there's contrast. Everything's cohesive and it expands all the way to the back end of the car too. For your brakes, we have larger disc brakes up at the front that are ventilated with solid disc brakes in the rear. We also have all-wheel drive on the EX Premium of the Seltos, so it does have a primary front-wheel drive bias. That's better for fuel efficiency. However, if the vehicle detects a little bit of slippage, it'll automatically redistribute torque towards the rear to give you a better power ratio. What you can also do on the Seltos, and it's actually exclusive to the Seltos because none of our other current cars in our lineup have this option, we have a locking differential button in the cabin that you can press to provide a full 50-50 power split to your front and rear. Perfect if you are in a sticky situation like snow, mud, or sand to help you get moving again. So great all-wheel drive system on this car. Your tire is a Kumo all-season tire, and again, it's a 17-inch diameter wheel. Right. Moving upwards, we do have a regular black plastic wheel arch. Now, black plastic, don't let that be a downside for you when it comes to keeping your vehicle looking good in the long run. Because we don't have paint or any high gloss materials, it actually holds up a whole lot better. I was detailing an older car today. It was a 2019 all black Toyota RAV4. You see every little bit of scratch, scuff, and just general use. So this keeps things looking a little bit better, a whole lot longer, in my opinion. Now for your windshield, in the very, very center, we have a forward-facing camera. That camera is going to do a whole lot for your car and your safety. Like the collision avoidance system I mentioned earlier, we have that thanks to the camera, as well as lane keeping and lane following assist. That camera is constantly monitoring for other vehicles, pedestrians, and cyclists, as well as the lanes ahead of you. Not just to make sure you're not leaving them, but to steer you in advance. So if there's any oncoming bends in the road, your vehicle will take that bend for you while still listening to your driver input. If you have to avoid something like a pothole or debris on the road, I can still steer away and the car will listen to me and not freak out. Mirrors. Got a turn signal indicator mounted right on top. And then alongside the mirrored portion, you'll notice we also have blind spot detection. So that little car icon will illuminate if there's ever a vehicle in your left or right blind spots, and it'll also give you audible feedback if you are currently indicating a lane change. So that, in theory, should warn you at the risk of making a sudden lane change that there's a car there. However, if you still try and the vehicle detects the risk of a collision, it can avoid it by giving opposing brake force. So we got collision avoidance in the front and the side, and when we get to the back, I'll also talk about the rear collision avoidance. For your door handles, you'll notice that we have a button. Now this is on the driver front and passenger side door. Essentially, it gives you proximity entry. So as long as the key is somewhere on your person, you'll simply walk up to the vehicle, press on it, and the car will unlock or lock depending on what it was first. Lets you get in and out of your car nice and easy. And let me say, in Canada, where we got pretty bad winters, I wear a lot of layers. Sometimes I forget which layer my key is in. It helps you avoid, finding it. So nice and easy, convenience entry. Up at the top, you got your roof rails, a little bit of satin chrome with regular black plastic molding. And then the belt line of your vehicle is, again, that satin chrome finish. So just a nice breakage in the center point of the car. It flows nicely, adds some styling, keeping the exterior looking nice and premium. The Seltos also excels in the fact that it still looks like an SUV. It's not too funky. Its sister car, the Kona, looks a lot more like a crossover. This vehicle is going to sit a little bit more upright, which is great if you have mobility issues. You don't want to get into a lower car and you don't want to climb yourself into a giant SUV. You just kind of slip right into the Seltos. It's a fantastic size vehicle. Now, where the EX Premium gets extra special is the convenience. This is your introductory trim level to a power liftgate. So, by simply pressing the button located next to your rear view camera, we have the power open function. You can do that by pressing that button there, your key fob, or even a button by the driver's seat. I can also adjust the height, so if this is too tall for me or my garage, bring it to your preferred height setting, press and hold this button until the car beeps. There we go, and now it's saved. Space-wise, you'll also get an abundance of space height-wise and width-wise. With the EX Premium offer also coming with this cargo cover, it's completely removable, so if it gets in the way of your things, take it out and you can store it underneath the floorboard. Now, when we lift the floorboard, you'll see that we do have a compact spare tire. Now, a lot of compact SUVs no longer come with this, so it's kind of a big deal. This is fantastic because if you do experience a full blowout or a flat, you actually have something to replace your tire with. It's not just an inflator kit or a plug kit. It's a proper fix, or a temporary proper fix to get you back up on the road. If you do need to knock your rear seats down, you certainly can. Now, it's easier to do it by going to the rear passenger doors, but if your arms are long enough and you're strong enough, you can flip up these tabs located on both the shoulder areas and then push the seats forward. I'm going to do things the easy way just to show you guys. And here we go. Flip it up, and the seats fold completely flat. So now, Adam, if you don't mind filming underneath the cargo cover, You can see we have a full flat surface for all your goods, provided you don't have any rear passengers. If you do have rear passengers, they're not going to like this. Bring it right back up, and you can see that we do have car seat tethers mounted on the back of all of our rear seats. Now, fuel tank size, we have a 50-liter fuel tank. It's just regular unleaded gas, so nothing fancy, no premium fuel. And again, the average fuel consumption is about 8.2 liters per 100 kilometers with this specific powertrain. If you do go up a trim level, you'll get the 1.6-liter turbo, which definitely does add a little more horse and a little bit more torque, but it will consume more fuel. And it's a turbo, so whether that's something you like or not, it's totally up to you. But this will provide you with that smooth, dependable, naturally aspirated engine. I think it's time we take a look inside, so I'll have Adam pan in before I take a seat. And we'll get a look at the interior. Now, in true premium fashion, the EX Premium is where you'll find a ton of extra comfort controls. So we still have our leatherette seating surfaces, but now we have both a power driver and passenger front seat. So when I hop in, I'll show you the controls. You've got an adjustment for your height right over here, where you can also change the angle of the seat or move it closer, further from the dash. You have your backrest adjustment, and you also have two-way lumbar support. That's not it though, but wait, there's more. We also have memory seats included on the EX Premium. So these two buttons here, driver 1 and driver 2, will allow you to save your different seat settings. And it's not just two that you can save to this car. There might only be two buttons, but because this vehicle has a driver profile menu, you can save 2 per user profile. So driver 1, driver 2, and guest. That gives you a grand total of 6. 6. There we go. So great, especially when you do have power seats. There's nothing worse than letting someone else drive your car, hop in, and everything's completely changed. So this is just a quick way to get you right back into your preferred setting. It'll also save your mirrors. So that's another thing. A lot of seat controls don't save mirrors. This one will, so everything will get right back to normal when you hop in your car. For your interior materials, you got a little bit of gloss black along your door handles, with the door handle itself being painted in silver chrome. And then for your window and mirror controls, mirrors up at the top, left and right, with all your directions, and an express driver window with regular power windows for the rest of the car. You'll get 6 airbags in this vehicle. That's standard on the Seltos. And again, on the topic of standard, things like the forward collision avoidance, the lane keeping and lane following assistance, as well as your blind spot detection and rear cross traffic alert are all standard on this car. So safety is by far standard. Now, some of the improvements that you get again on the EX Premium is the advanced forward collision avoidance, the one that works with junctions and just a greater array of safety situations, as well as highway driving assist. I'll explain highway driving assist to you right now. So on the right-hand side of the steering wheel, we have our Smart Cruise Control button. When I press this, it'll turn on my Smart Cruise Control, then I'll set my speed with the plus and the minus, and then I can set my following distance. So here's where things get different from the trim levels below. You have 4 different following distances to choose from. It'll display on your dash which one you've selected. Can't turn it on now because we are parked and inside a building, but it's clearly displayed what you've selected. However, when I get onto the highway, it transforms into highway driving assist. So it essentially becomes Smart Cruise Control plus lane centering plus navigation data. It knows the speed limit of the highway that you're on, if there's any major bends, and changes things for you. So it can adjust the speed, it can make sure that you're slowing down in a bend if it's unsafe, of course, and it will slow you down if the car ahead of you hits stop and go traffic. So it's constantly making changes to give you a driver assistance. Not a full takeover, but it's pretty darn close. This vehicle's lane assist will not allow you to make full left or right turns. It won't do it by itself, but it'll always keep you centered if there's a bend in the road. I hope that clears things up and makes some sense. Now I'll take the camera from Adam to show you guys our dash. Now the dash grows in size on the EX Premium model. So this is a full 10.25 inch digital display. You got your speedometer on the left-hand side with your distance to empty and fuel meter reading along the bottom. The very center can be controlled by pressing this button here. So I can change my viewpoints to our trip info, our navigation, as well as our all-wheel drive torque distribution and tire pressure. There you can see our tachometer on the right-hand side, so just nice, clear digital display. It's certainly modern, but it's not difficult to look at. Everything you really need is easily displayed. Lighting stock is on the left-hand side with your wiper stock on the right, pretty classic Kia. And then you've got some convenience controls for your audio system, as well as your voice commands, your volume, and then a call button and a favorite button. Favorite button often gets overlooked, but essentially the car has two of them. When you press this, it'll jump you to a screen. Oops, I don't have my driver profile, so it might not actually. I'm just gonna skip setting that up and press it again. So I press it, and now it lets me choose what that button does. So let's do display on and off. Now when I go to press that steering wheel button, look at my display, it shuts off. So as you own this vehicle, you'll find what you like and customize those buttons to the preferences. It'll also save based off your driver profile. So if someone else is in your car, they're in their own profile and their button does their own thing. All right, Adam, you wanna join me on the passenger side? Okay. Now the passenger seat also gets some upgrades on the EX Premium. It is now powered as well. Not only are these front two seats powered, they're also going to get ventilation. Now, heated seats are standard here in Canada, but ventilated seats are not. So that is one of the major upgrades, again, you get here. You can adjust the height of the seat, the backrest, and that's it. All right, come on in, Adam. Now, we'll make sure all the doors are closed because there is something I'd like to share with you guys. And that is the ambient lighting on this vehicle. Ambient lighting starts on the EX Premium, and it's controlled from the sound mood lamp menu. When I go to press it, I can turn it on, I can have it sync to only music or on all the time. So when I turn off Music Plus, now when you take a look at our door card, you get a slight touch of purple lighting. You can change the color to what you'd like, or if you want it to beat to the music, just make sure you turn on Music Plus, and it's a little party in your car every time you come in. If you're not a fan of it at all, simply unclick Mood Lamp, and then she's gone. Now it's just a regular cabin. Still a nice one though. Now, on the topic of this screen, it's again another 10.25 inch display, so full touchscreen with integrated navigation. This will also be your starting trim level for Sirius XM radio and HD radio. Below it, we have our vents and our hazard button, and then all of our climate control. Now, the climate control is a button on this car, and boy, is that nice to have in a world of screens. So very easy to set your temperature. It's single zone with automated climate control function. So the automated essentially means the intensity at which your vehicle gets you to that temperature. The right-hand side lets you manually select your fan speed, and then of course your directional controls, your defrosts, all of that good stuff. Below that, we have more real buttons for our media display. So if I want to quickly jump to my map, all I have to do is press map, and the car does exactly that. So it's so great to have some real button controls in a world of screens. Just below that, we have our wireless phone charger. Now, wireless phone charger will start on this trim. Just drop your phone on this shelf here, and it'll charge without a cord. If you do want cords, though, we have a 12 volts, a USB, and then a USB-C on the right. So 3 different ways to charge a phone. So if you don't have a cord for one of them, hopefully you have one for the other. And if you don't have that either, we got the wireless one. Your gear shift is a regular lever-style shifter. So nice, easy to use, and just completes the overall classic cabin look. The right side will have your locking differential button, which you can turn on or off by pressing it. Your heated seats, as well as your ventilated seats with 3 different levels for both, and then downhill braking assist. The left-hand side will be the driver's seating control, as well as your parking camera button, and then a heated steering wheel. When you press the camera parking button, it'll summon your rear view camera if you're stopped. However, every time you throw the car in reverse, this will come up automatically. Now, overall, the cabin feel, like I said, the Seltos sits very upright like an SUV. So headroom-wise, we have a very, very good amount. We also get a power sunroof. It doesn't start on the EX Premium, but it is, of course, carried over here. It's a power sunroof, so just open the glass to your liking. You can stop it at any point, or you can also tilt it just by pressing up like a button. It's only the cover that's manual, so once you're done, just shut it, and then you got a dark cabin again. That's about it for the front area here. Let's take a look at the back seats, and then we'll answer some questions. Now, I know there's a hot topic about whether this is a 2026 or not. I haven't seen our comments yet, so I'm not sure if anyone said it. Now, a lot of people thought the 2026 model would be a redesign or a refresh. That's not the case yet. We should be getting a refresh Seltos soon, or redesigned Seltos, I should say. When exactly? I have no idea. They don't tell me this stuff because they know I'm going to share it with you guys. I have a big mouth. But just as proof that this is a 2026 model, there we go, 2026 Seltos EX Premium. Price point, there's the base price, $34,145 Canadian. I think I said it was $33,995. Yeah, the price went up a little bit. Sorry, you guys. The real price is $34,145. Please don't hate me. We'll make sure it's right in the description. Now for the two main seats back here, and by main I mean our side-most seats, you get heated seats. Now the button to turn them on is located on the door card, right above your window control. And then just a little moment for the door card itself. We get that same gloss black material and satin chrome handle, with your speakers having an overall funky design. So it's almost like a mountain, a very geometric shape. It's pretty cool. I always like talking about it. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think it's cool, or are you just wanting me to move on? Either way, I'll move on. Now, the backs of the passenger seats will have a leather pocket. It's also plastic, so very easy to wipe down. The very center will have your rear air vents, so you get the directional control back here, and then the intensity will be based off whatever's set up at the front. Below that, we have two USB-Cs for charging. USB-Cs provide faster charging. And then we have our little storage pocket, perfect to mount a phone in if it's waiting to charge. Now, seat-wise, I don't have my front seat all the way forward. You guys, I don't drive that close to the steering wheel. But headroom-wise, I've got a very, very good amount. The Seltos is surprisingly spacious, and you don't have too much of a slope back in the rear seats, so your rear passengers aren't missing out too much. Seat-wise as well, it's a comfortable seat. The seat doesn't exactly recline, so this is its most back right stance. Got a lot of knee room and a lot of room for your feet as well. The hump in the center isn't too pronounced, so if you are sitting in the very middle seat, your feet aren't too elevated compared to the seats beside you, so it's an overall very comfortable middle seat to be in. Still the worst seat in the house, but it's not too bad. That's about it for the back seats here. I will share with you guys, if no one's sitting in the middle, you can reach in and drop the center seat down to be an armrest or cup holder. Then it tucks back right up, and it's like it never happened. It's just a normal seat again. The headrests are adjustable for all seats back here too, so you can find your perfect head adjustment, and that's about it. I will say the interior lighting is LED, just to match your headlamps and your taillights. So everything in this car is an LED really, and she looks pretty good. I really understand why this is the best-selling trim level for our best-selling vehicle, but I want you guys to let us know in the comments what you think. Again, just a quick summary of what the EX Premium adds on. Well, it retains that fantastic powertrain that gives you efficiency and dependability, but it gives you the memory seats, the power liftgate, the cooled seats in the front, the heated seats in the rear, the ambient lighting, the powered seats for both driver and passenger, the dual 10.25-inch displays with integrated navigation, so no trim levels below this will have in-house nav, and then of course Sirius XM satellite radio. So pretty big upgrades, definitely luxurious upgrades. And then on the topic of safety, you'll get the advanced forward collision avoidance as well as highway driving assist and smart cruise control. Those both, or all three of those, start on this trim level and are only carried upwards. Not an option for the trims below. All right, let's see what you guys have to say. I also want to say I'm so happy to be back, you guys. It's definitely been a little while. I feel a little bit rusty, but hopefully tomorrow's live stream's a little bit better. But there's 83 of you on right now, 34 likes, and I don't know about you, Adam. I know you're smarter than me, so you're pretty good at math. That math isn't mathing. That math does not make sense to me. So if you are on right now and you haven't left a like, please consider doing so. It is free to do. Mind you, the dislike button's also free. Don't hit that one though. Actually, I heard they charge for that now, so. Oh, yeah. Yeah. All right. So, okay. How do the R17 versus the R18 alloy wheels on this trim affect the aesthetic and its ride and comfort? So there is no R18 option from factory, at least for this vehicle. You can definitely put 18-inch wheels on here if you want. Now, ride-wise, I don't really notice too much of a difference on this trim level versus the 18s that are available on the turbo model. So comfort-wise, it's all about the same. I will say 17-inch wheels are going to be more affordable. So if you are looking for winter tires and you do want to do another 17, you're going to spend less money buying 17-inch alloys than 18s. You could also drop it down to a 16 in the winter. Aesthetic-wise, I think this wheel fits the wheel well quite nicely. So I know sometimes with smaller wheels you have a lot of gaps and it just looks a little funky. No, I think this fits the car very nicely. The side profile looks good. It doesn't look like it needs a bigger wheel. So it looks good. Aesthetics are of course always going to be opinion based, so that is my opinion. It won't tow, that's correct. So this vehicle does not have a rated towing capacity here in Canada. It's not recommended for towing. That being said, if you want to put an accessory hitch on it for like a bike rack, something like that, you absolutely can, but do not tow a horse trailer with it. It's not meant for that. Paul Williams, thank you so much for the super chat. It's good to see you on, Paul. I also just want to shout out Eduardo, Brad. I see you all. I see Bulletin Blair. I see TRD RAV4, Christian, of course. Thank you guys so much for being on. Martin's on too. All of our regulars are on. It's always so nice to see you guys. Whenever I'm away, whether it be a weekend or if I'm on vacation, I think of my regulars. I think of you guys. Let's see. Oh, horsepower and torque, yes. So horsepower is 147 horsepower and torque is 132 pound-feet of torque. Now if you're comparing it to the turbo model, so one trim level up, that'll be a 1.6 liter turbo with 190 horsepower and 195 pound-feet of torque. And an 8-speed automatic transmission. David's on too. Hey David. Horsepower and torque is Yuri's line. Yes, I'm not coming for the straight pipes. Is that Seltos sold? No. Why? Do you want to buy it? With that being said, sometimes I forget to mention this because I'm so caught up in the live stream and just showing you guys the car. But we are a real dealership. So we're located at Brantford Kia. It's a small dealership in Brantford, Ontario. Ontario's Canada, by the way. And we do actually sell cars. We service cars. We deliver cars. We clean cars. So if you want to buy a car from us, hit us up. I have all of our links in the description, so you can contact us directly. Maybe if you want to buy this Seltos or anything else, we can help you out. And we're pretty okay to deal with. Not biased. Thank you, Gabi. But if you have to be out of town, why not be in Vancouver, where I was 51 years ago? Funny enough, I've actually never been to Vancouver. I've never been to British Columbia at all. It is something I would really like to see. Bulletin Blair said I bought a car at Brantford Kia. Yeah. Was it a good experience? Let us know. What's the significant difference between this and the 2025 one? Nothing. So it is a carryover model year. Price point will slightly change and interest rate, but there's nothing feature-wise or looks-wise. Okay. I think that's about it for today's video, you guys. Bulletin Blair said it was so good, and I'm going to do it again. That is right, Blair. Whenever you're ready, we got the car for you, hopefully. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's really a pleasure to speak to you guys again and be on live streaming. We will do it again tomorrow, live at 2 p.m. So if you want to catch us in whatever car we're filming then, you know where to find us. Adam, anything you want to say?
I don't know. I mean, I like the speakers on the car. I think that was the most notable thing. That's kind of all I had in mind, though. I really just like how it looks. It's pretty cool.
Adam is easily impressed.
I am easily impressed. That's also true.
All right, you guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right.